been an absolute blast doing this live show on MSNBC for the past 3 years with an amazing team of producers behind me and with all of you watching at home. It's been a privilege, it's been a pleasure. But as we begin 2024 with an election coming, a war still ongoing, and too many Trump trials, honestly, to even keep track of, and with this show going away, I've decided that it's time for me to look for a new challenge. Tonight is not just my final episode of the Mehdi Hasan Show. It's my last day with MSNBC. Yes, I've decided to leave.
So that's Mehdi Hasan, who, yes, has decided to not stay on as a contributor on MSNBC after losing his show weeks ago. That was originally on Peacock, and then he started to make his way onto primetime, some really good slots for the Mehdi Hasan Show. He was known for his incredibly, I would say, honest and aggressive interviewing style, but aggressive in a good way, this is a person who holds a lot of power. He interviewed people like John Bolton and other former Bush officials. He truly was a critical voice. He came from Al Jazeera media. I know him personally. I was always so happy and excited that he had his own show and that it was doing well, and explicitly and specifically doing well online. As a lot of us do not have news, cable news, but we saw those clips of Mehdi grilling some power holder and doing an incredible job. Specifically, even people like Mark Regev, who's Netanyahu's advisor, and perhaps this interview is the reason that he actually lost his show to begin with. Remember this?
Hamas, until now, we're destroying their military machine, and with that, we're eroding their control. But up until now, they've been in control of the Gaza Strip. And as a result, they control all the images coming out of Gaza. Have you seen one picture of a single dead Hamas terrorist in the fighting in Gaza? Not one. Is that by accident, or is that because Hamas can control the information.
You asked me a question and you said you would be brief. I haven't, you're right, but I have seen lots of children with my own lying eyes being pulled from the rubble.
Because they're the pictures Hamas wants you to see. Exactly my point,
because they're dead,
they're the pictures Hamas wants.
But they're also people that your government has killed. You accept that, right? You've killed children, or do you deny that?
No, I do not. I do not. First of all, you don't know how those people died, those children. Oh, wow. First of all, we don't want to see a single child killed.
So for some of that just basic pushback on mouthpieces like Mark Regev, Mehdi lost his own show. He was replaced by a sort of cohort of a number of other MSNBC hosts, and then the news was that he would stay on as contributor and continue to take us through this election year. And then Mehdi himself decided, nah, how about not? How about when you stripped my show away from me that was gaining a lot of traction, actually doing incredibly well for the network. I'm gonna go take my talents elsewhere. I 100% support Mehdi in his decision. Ray.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge loss for MSNBC, an embarrassing loss for MSNBC, because Mehdi is one of the few people on cable news really speaking truth to power and holding powerful people to account for their actions and for the words that they say. And I don't watch a lot of mainstream media, but I did watch his show. I watched it a lot, and it was to see that it was performing successfully, counter to the narrative that MSNBC was trying to spin, that it was just a numbers decision. I think really speaks to that this was trying to punish him for holding people accountable for the genocide in Gaza. That's what this was about. He was honest about the ongoing genocide. And higher ups at MSNBC and the companies that advertise with them and essentially fund them didn't like it. So corporate news move. He was too honest. He was too good at his job, and he had to go. And I totally respect his decision to completely cut ties with MSNBC. Wherever he goes, they will be lucky to have him. And yeah, I mean, given the massive insult to him that was taking his show away, totally think it was the right decision to completely leave the network.
Absolutely. I mean, I have to say personally, I'm just really disheartened, because I feel like Mehdi Hasan, for people like us, right, who are in news media, potentially are progressives and want to continue. I've had a show on MSNBC. It was a special. You didn't see it, it's fine. But I look to people like Mehdi to blaze a trail for progressives, to be able to be honest and do their job, to be able to hold the powerful account, and within sort of the general, okay, is this okay, corporate overlords? All right, because we're gonna do this, because him having a platform is incredibly important. And I do think that we have the power, especially as younger generations, especially as progressives, to potentially wrestle some of these mainstream outlets away from their worst instincts. I know a lot of folks who are watching might disagree with me on that, but now you see the trial balloon of Mehdi Hasan implodes. There you go. They popped it because he was, again, as Ray said, too good at his job.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.